Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the Starting 11 prediction show as Brighton host Liverpool. Yes, back in the Premier League. Liverpool top of the table, 4 points clear. I'm here to predict the side that Jurgen Klopp is going to put out against Chris Hughton's men. But before we get into that, this video is sponsored by OneFootball, the only app, or the best app I should say, to get all your transfer news, all your Liverpool FC news, stats and match day stuff in one place. It's incredible. I really have started to use this app. It's taken over all the others because quite honestly, you can pick some games that you like. I follow Liverpool. You should follow Liverpool. You get all the like up-to-date stats and breaking news stories, breaking transfer stories straight away, notified. It's brilliant. But I've actually started to use it such that you can pick a couple of games from the weekend. If you don't want to follow, let's say, Manchester City or Tottenham, you can just star their games and it'll let you know when goals go in those games as well. So in a title challenge like this is, you need to have that. The app's perfect for it. You can download that in the video description. The link is there. Go and do that and let us know how what you think of the app. But we're going to get into it. I'm going to whiz through the stats and the players, and then we're going to look at the team as a whole. Then we're going to take comments at the end like we normally do. So let's get into it. Goalkeeper against Brighton is going to be Alisson Becker, back in after a one-game hiatus in the FA Cup, a disappointing FA Cup game against Wolves. He's played 21 times in the Premier League this season. He's conceded 10 goals. He is making 2.11 saves per 90. And his short pass completion still 97.8%. So at right back, I think it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold to actually come back into this game. And you can see he's played 16 times in the Premier League. He's got 3 assists so far. So that competition going with, are we okay?
It looks like it's all competitions. Size done for all competitions, I guess, because there's definitely not been. Has there?
Yeah.
Sorry. Carry on. My bad, everyone.
That took us, what, 3 minutes of our first mistake? We normally get to the midfield when I forget what order the players are in, Tom.
Sided these this time?
Yeah.
I was
Do you
just
mean so Si's done it right?
Yeah.
And you normally do it?
Good work, Si.
Okay, so he's got 3 assists. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 5.99 defensive. Do you know what I love about this? Everyone says to us all the time about the magnets and stuff like that and how it's lost a little bit of something. We still mess up with the graphics. I think we mess up more with the graphics. The magnet thing, they just used to fall down the board and I don't know what I'd do. You know what, right? We are going to reintroduce the magnet style to this show again. We're so in the flow of like 2 games a week and stuff at the moment that we're just having a little struggle at the moment with having time to actually change this set back up. But we will go back to something sort of in the middle. So anyway, we'll move on from Trent Alexander-Arnold because I'm bored of looking at his face. Fabinho. Yes, in a centre half, I think, you know, is Joel Matip going to be fit and available for this game? Even if he is he going to be match fit in a game where we need to win? I'm not sure, so I've actually gone for Fabinho. I didn't think he had a bad game. I think with Virgil van Dijk alongside him, which is, spoiler, I've picked Virgil alongside him. I think he'll be able to deal with that. And you can see here he's winning 70% of his aerial duels per 90, and that's outstanding. We'll look at Virgil van Dijk's one in there, and he's intercepting the ball nearly 5 times per game. Drops back, you can play the ball out. We know he likes to play those progressive passes forward to the midfielders. Sound with that. Let's move on then. And yeah, I have already spoiled it. It is going to be Virgil van Dijk, but why wouldn't it be Virgil van Dijk? You know, we had a little bit of a niggle, something like that, for the Wolves game. That's why he wasn't involved. But I think he'll be fine for this game. And you can see, when I said that Fabinho was at 70%, Big Verge is actually only winning 63.9% of his aerial duels. So Fabinho 70, 63.9 for Virgil. And then look at that, nearly 6.5 interceptions per 90 from Virgil van Dijk. At left-back, the guy who I thought we missed the most against Wolves was Andy Robertson. He's the best left-back in the country. He may be the best left-back in the world. He's absolutely outstanding. He's drawn level with Trent Alexander-Arnold on the assist charts for the Premier League. He's got 3. He's winning 7 defensive duels per 90 and intercepting the ball 4 times as well. He's so involved in our passing game, averaging nearly 65 passes per game. That's what we missed, that outlet on the left-hand side. But I'll talk more about that a little bit later on. I think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. And I think ahead of them, it's going to be Gini Wijnaldum first and foremost. Back into the game, had Monday night off against Wolves. He only scored 1 goal. He's intercepted the ball 3.31 times, but he's been outstanding in this season in that number 6 position, and a position I didn't really think suited him, but he seems to thrive in a 3-man midfield as the DM, and he seems to thrive in a 2-man midfield as well, and I think he's going to be in a 2-man midfield alongside the captain of the football club, Jordan Henderson. He's been in and out of the side, you know, only 10 starts and 8 substitute appearances in the Premier League, but he's averaging 75 passes per 90. You can see how involved he is. He's knocking the ball long 5.9 times per game, completing 55.9% of them. He's winning 7 defensive duels per 90 and intercepting the ball 5 times as well. Head of him, over on that right-hand side, it's going to be the little man, Big Shaq. 6 goals from his 9 starts and 8 substitute appearances, but he can win the ball back. We all wondered whether he'd be winning the ball back, would he be working hard enough for the team? Well, he's contesting 6.83 offensive duels per 90, and he's getting 2+ shots off per 90 as well. In the centre, in the 10, it's going to be Bobby Firmino, a lad who was brought on against Wolves, and we looked like Liverpool when he came on, didn't we? And he's so intrinsically linked with this side's form because nobody can play the 10 like him. Nobody understands the movement of Mane and Salah and Shaqiri just quite like Roberto Firmino, and he's dropping deep to help his midfielders out as well. He scored 8 times in the Premier League. He's contesting nearly 9 offensive duels per 90, and he's still getting 2.5 shots off. Say it was a disappointing season so far in terms of goal return up until the hat-trick the other week, and then he's right back in the hunt. On the left-hand side then, I think it's the only player that we've got really that can sort of excel in this left-hand side position, and that is Sadio Mane, who's got 8 goals in 18 appearances, 1 substitute appearance on top. He's having a couple of shots per game. He's having over 5 dribbles per 90, which is incredible, and he's getting past this man 65% of the time as well. And ahead of them, it's going to be the man, the legend, the one-season wonder, the worst one-season wonder in the history of football, because he's not a one-season wonder, Mohamed Salah. 20 appearances, 1 substitute appearance, 13 goals, 6 assists for Mohamed Salah. The lad's incredible. But let's bring the team and let's talk a little bit about it and how we want to see the team play for this one. So you can see there we've got it as a 4-2-3-1 with Henderson, Wijnaldum, Mane, Firmino, Shaqiri and Salah up front. And this is what it's all about for me. You know, these 2 lads are going to need protection, and that will be down to Henderson and Wijnaldum. But these 2 lads will be protecting in the full-back areas when this lad goes forward and this lad goes forward here. Shaqiri and Mane will be doing those little runs inside. Firmino will be moving all around the shop. And then Salah will be over here slightly and trying to get himself in between those centre-halves, and maybe the centre-half and the left-back running these channels down here as well. Then you'll have the movement and the sort of free-flowing football. I hope Brighton come at us. I hope that plays into our hands. I hope Liverpool start fast in this game. I don't mind Liverpool grinding through the gears, working out what the side's doing. But in this game, the fact that we've come off the back of 2 defeats, I do want us to start fast. I want us to kill that little bit of hope that Brighton have, that Liverpool are in a blip of form, and I don't think we are. I really don't think. We had one great performance against Manchester City, but we were beaten by a better side on the day, in a tough place to go to at their home ground. And then I don't think it was Liverpool's team that went out against Wolves. Liverpool's players, but not Liverpool's team. Liverpool's players who don't normally get into this game, who won't normally get into a starting 11. So for me, it's about bouncing back. It's about getting back on that horse. It's about straddling that horse and riding it on to the Premier League title, hopefully. Can't wait for it. So I'm going to get into some of the comments and stuff now. Tom, if you've got something to get me going, that would be absolutely fantastic, my friend.
Blackwell Gaming says, Keita will play again. I reckon he wants to prove himself in these games where it's compact.
Interesting. Yeah, listen, I don't think he will, as evidenced by this, but, you know, I think Naby's one of those players that if there was a player in this squad that I've been disappointed in this season, it would be Naby Keita. And I'm not saying that he's not going to be a success at Liverpool. I still think he can be a success. I still think he will be a success at Liverpool Football Club. But I had such high hopes because of watching him for a year, knowing that you're going to sign him, seeing what he was doing for RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga, and thinking, wow, what will that guy bring to this side? And I can't wait to see that. And he's been disappointing for me, quite frankly, but there are signs there. He's not played enough regular games, and maybe that's it. Maybe he's only played 3 games, 3 starts in the Premier League once, and it was at the beginning of the season, if I remember correctly. And he's just not got that rhythm, has he? You know what I mean? He's not been able to get into that rhythm, and he's not, when he has been playing, like at Wolves, you know, he's trying to make things happen, but he's not playing with the first team. He's not playing with the lads who are, quite frankly, superb and world class ahead of him. And Naby would be nice if we can integrate him into this team, and maybe we'll see that later on in the season. But right now, I think it's about getting back to winning ways, and I think that it'll be Wijnaldum and Henderson in the middle of the park. I can't imagine Keita breaking in on the left-hand side in this game with Sadio Mane coming back into it, you'd guess. Have we got another one, mate? I saw a blue super chat from Daniel Green, actually. Thank you very much for that one. Last season we were poor in January, same again. I'd argue that the first team Liverpool side haven't been poor in January yet. I'd argue that we've had one game and we lost to Manchester City, like I mentioned before. So for me, the worries are there. Of course they are. We've seen Jürgen, probably it's the month he's struggled in most, is January, I suppose. But I think this side's different. I think these lads are different. I think these lads are serious about a title challenger. I think these lads have got the time and the breathing space now after that incredibly difficult December period to get that little bit of rest and recovery that they need to go on and face these sides. You know, we've got Brighton, we've got Crystal Palace. Is it Bournemouth after that? I can't remember. Apologies. Their games. Oh, it's Leicester. It's Leicester after Crystal Palace, I believe. So these are games that these lads need to be up for, and they will be up for. We've got an away game now, but then we've got a home game against Palace and a home game against Leicester. So we've got to go there and we've got to come back to Anfield. We've got to go there and get 3 points. We've got to get 3 points from the next 2 games as well. And then we won't be talking, hopefully, about a poor December. But those, don't get me wrong, I have those worries, I have those concerns, but I also have faith in this Liverpool side, and this Liverpool side hasn't underperformed in January as of yet.
Don Shami says, Henderson is a good player, but he's not contributing much to the team. He needs to take the bench.
Everybody knows I like Jordan Henderson, and I almost feel sometimes like I'm backed into a corner for some reason, and I don't think I should be feeling like that. I mean, everybody's got players they like and players that they don't like. I think Jordan brings a lot to this side. I think everybody focuses on these backward passes and stuff like that, and I think if you look at it, and you delve into the stats, he doesn't play that many. He doesn't, like, as a percentage of his passes, there's not many that go backwards. He tries more switching to play long balls than most of the players on our team, and I don't know why. He just seems to be one of these scapegoaty type players. I'm not saying he's a world-class centre midfielder by any stretch of the imagination. He's just a player that I like, just in the same way that I like Gini Wijnaldum and I like all the other lads. You know, I think he does a job for this team. I really do, and I think it can't be understated what he probably does as the captain of this football club. I mean, you know, Jürgen Klopp is not the only manager to have Jordan Henderson as his captain now. You know, he's been captained by England, he's been captained by Brendan Rodgers and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, I think I am right in saying Brendan Rodgers did captain him, maybe obviously for a few games and stuff. So I think he's a good player, man, and I think the midfield's key for us. And I've said this analogy a couple of times, the one where, like, you know, we're a fast car, and these lads here are essentially everything that you need to get the games won. But this is the engine room of that car, and that's why we're rotating in the middle of the park so much. You know, Henderson, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, Naby Keita, these lads, James Milner. These are the lads that probably do the most running for us on a game-by-game basis, and these are the lads that we need to keep fresh. And they've all got different things about the game that I like, and they've all got different sort of strengths and weaknesses to the game, but you don't want to have the same players each and every time. You want to be able to sort of change up slightly for your opponent, and this lad's better at this, so I'll use him in this game, and this lad's better than that, and use him in that game. They can't just all be direct copies of one another, and I don't think they are. I think they all add slightly different things, and they all add good things in different ways. So for me, Henderson's not an issue. He never has been an issue, and maybe he will be an issue down the line, but for me, he's really not. Like, go on.
Defincy Sedan B says Hoover needs a chance.
I disagree actually with that one. No disrespect, we're all entitled to our opinions. Of course we are. I actually feel like we shouldn't see Hoover for a year now. I feel like just put him away, forget about him. We put him out there now, the hype train's going to be going wild, isn't it? And I think, yes, he had a good performance. Yes, I was wrong after the game last time out against Wolves. He did have a good performance. His passing was absolutely incredible. So, you know, those balls that we see Matip and Van Dijk and Fabinho and Trent and Gomez all play to the striker, to the midfield, they're taking plays out of the game. So for me, just forget about him. There's no need. We don't, like, he's not better than Lovren right now, I don't think. I've only seen him one game. he's probably not better than Joel Matip right now. He's not better than Joe Gomez, and he's not better than Virgil van Dijk. Let's just forget about him. Let's just let him continue his development. If he wants to keep training, he'll push his way into this side at some point, whether it's now, whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now. I imagine, looking at the talent that he's got and the fact that he's 16 years old and Klopp wants him training with the first team, he's going to have plenty of time in his career. And I heard something random, mad, the other day. I think, I forget the amount of days, but I'm going to take a stab at the number, because I'm normally all right at remembering the numbers. I can't remember anything else. But I think he was 296 days old when James Milner made his debut for Leeds, which is just mad, innit? Mad if that's the case. Like, so James Milner was playing in the Premier League and Keanu Hoover wasn't even born. I mean, that is just incredible. Incredible. Chris Dobson, disappointed to see Fabinho in the defence. Love seeing him control the midfield. I love seeing Fabinho in the midfield, and I think it's, you know, you're not going to play Henderson centre-back. You're not going to play Wijnaldum, surely, centre-back against Brighton again after last season. This was the game, wasn't it, where we played Wijnaldum with Dejan Lovren and Emre Can in with 3 at the back. I just can't see it, but it's mad that it's come round to this game again, and now we're looking at playing another midfield in the centre half. But I do think we'll miss Fabinho in the middle of the park. I think he's been growing into this side, and I think he's been making sure that almost, you know, Jurgen Klopp can't forget about him, because I think at the start of the season when he was learning the ropes, maybe he was a bit of an oversight. Now I think Jurgen Klopp will be thinking, is this a game for Fabinho? First and foremost, is he going to be in the midfield, and who's going to partner him? Interesting stuff, though. And actually, while I'm on that, I actually think if I had a first choice 11, it'd be Fabinho and Wijnaldum right now, the form that those two players are in. Go on, mate.
Blue Super Chat, nice one. Lone Kirkpatrick. He says, obviously not about the game, but would you rather have Suso back or Phil, and then Price, question mark?
So we did actually quite a big portion of this on the podcast this week. For me, I would take Phil Coutinho back. And listen, there's loads, and people will be in the comments now saying, you know, snake and all that type of stuff, but you can't have too many good players. And I think everybody knows that Liverpool are probably an attacker light because of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's injury this season. And it feels to me like one more good attacking player could be what we need. We might win the league anyway without it, but I'd hate to look back and regret not having an attacking player. And I think we, you know, hopefully we won't. But for me, I'd have Coutinho over Suso all day. I never rated Suso, to be honest with you, and I don't watch enough Italian footy to tell you how good he is now. I see people talking about him and stuff like that. I used to watch Italian footy, like all the Italian footy back in the 90s, like, and back when I didn't have kids and a wife and all that type of stuff. But I just don't have the time anymore, so I don't know about Suso, and I never really thought he would make it at Liverpool. I'm surprised actually how good and how well spoken of he is now. So for me, it'd be Coutinho. Price, I think I said £5 million on the podcast, maybe 10, 15, something like that. But seriously speaking, 50 million, something like that, 50 to 70. 70 is the max that I'd pay. I think you made a good profit on Phil Coutinho's loan deal to Barcelona, if that is the case. But this isn't going to happen. Liverpool are not going to sign Phil Coutinho back, I can't imagine. And then you've got the dynamics of him coming back into the dressing room after what he did and all that type of stuff. I just can't see it happening, to be perfectly honest with you. Anyway, that has been the Starting 11 prediction show. Don't forget to check out that One Football app. It really is superb. Like, I really do use it. Like, it's absolutely boss. Like, and we've had a few comments over the last few videos that we've done in partnership with them, where people are literally saying exactly the same thing in the comments. So that's cool. If you like it, let us know. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very, very much for subscribing, commenting, and getting involved in the show. It's you that make this show what it is. And I will see you next time. Ta-ra.